Made in America, which was also another song which opens the second act. Yes? Extraordinary.
You like that?
Extraordinary. This is a song that was also not in La Jolla. A very different opening to the second act. Can you talk a little bit about where that came from and how you wrote it and created it?
Well, one of the things I love about the show is how personal it is. You really feel like you're inside these two kids. The love story, the parent-child story, these were all things that attracted me to it, that I felt you could explore on stage better than anywhere else. But when we did La Jolla, again, the criticism that we got was that it was too personal. It was too small in that way. And when Michael came down to see it, you said that the thing that was missing was another layer, and that was of the national landscape. So over the past year, the rewrite that we did and the rethinking of it that I did was to marry the very personal, tragic love story with what was going on at that time. And so that's hopefully what we've done here, so that you really get a sense of both. And we thought, I remember we would meet, because most of the show was done on Skype and by email. But we met in New York and said, okay, how are we going to do this? And Don came up with Made in America as a title, as an idea. And we all jumped on that. And so Frank immediately sat down at the piano and started, writing the melody. And we knew we wanted it to be the voice of America. And that's sort of how that came. So that was, Michael Edmonds was responsible for that.
Yeah, and also it was the producer's idea to get an epic quality to it. So the effect of Bonnie and Clyde in America, not just in West Dallas.
We are all God's children, His arms always open. We must all do what is right. You may be in debt, wake up in a sweat, but let's not forget you were made in America. They had holes in every shoe, no dream can come true. They stole, wouldn't you?
How about that Michael Lanning who sings it, our preacher? What a voice. That's just a gift from God, isn't it? That's something. He really is, the irony is he's the voice of America. If you remember back, the Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, that was him that we heard on all those commercials of every football game. So he's the voice of America singing Made in America.
Very good.
Everything about this show has been that serendipitous, actually.
I don't know if you realize this, that you probably do because you're theatre goers, but every single comma in this show, every note, is looked at forensically. I can tell you that for the past years, I've compared, I once said writing lyrics is like doing your own root canal work. Every single song is looked at, studied, and everything. And Stephen Sondheim, again, he was the man who said it's not about the writing, it's about the rewriting. So it's looked at time and time and time again. And it's only when you get in front of an audience that you either have something or you've been wasting your time. So,
Do you have any questions for the audience? And I'll get them to think of questions that they have for you, Jim.
I guess, just talking about Made in America, do you think that we could put it a reprise, or you could hear it, maybe it could start the show in another way, or you could hear it again, don't you think? That's what I'm thinking watching, and we're still talking because now if we have a life after here, which we'll know after your critic tomorrow. But if we do, that's one question I wanted to ask.
Don't change the beginning.
Did you like the beginning?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Did you think there were too many ballads in the second act?
No, it's good.
Did you feel the show was a little too long? Those that said it was too long, hold up. How many minutes too long did you think? 5, 10? 7. You know what? This is good.
Really?
No, this is good information for us.
What do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
I say, so every minute counts. Yes. Okay.
No, that's important information because there's first or second act.
Second. Oh, no, don't take
Interesting. Okay, pretty divided. Every new
Okay,
musical.
but now wait. Now, what would you take out?
Nothing.
Yes.
Song by the mother. Yeah.
Mother's song.
Second act.
The mother song.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Vaguely speaking, Bonnie and Clyde had enough times where they told each other how much they loved each other. A little bit could be cut out of one of those 3 times or 7 times.
Too many I love yous.
Yes.
You know,
you
you're
married?
very smart.
He's there.
Look at the
To
distance.
the woman on the other side of the aisle.
Please note the distance between that married
Listen,
couple.
I have to tell you, this is invaluable information.
So important.
Because we shouldn't bury our head in the sand. It's all about the audience. And so
we've
this
been,
is.
we've been thinking the mother. I mean, that's where we've been leaning. If we had to cut something out of the show, but if you had to, if somebody said, you know, it's either that or die, what else would you do?
No, but his point is, other people have said what you've said. We know they love each other. As much as I like the song
too.
Bonnie, all he's doing is saying how much I love
Oh,
you.
you mean the song Bonnie?
No, like that.
Just in
the
general,
bathtub.
just in general, that there's a few scenes where we see how much.
Lovey-dovey. Love.
Were you
I
singing
agree
the
with
balcony?
you.
Yeah.
No, this is the only time that I asked that I was disappointed with feedback from the audience. I was doing a show called Big River, and half the cast was deaf. And so the entire show was signed. And in the middle, at intermission, I saw this elderly couple leaving the theater on Broadway. And I followed them because I took it very personally. I said, I'm sorry to bother you, but is there something wrong? Why are you leaving? And they said, well, there was entirely too much gesturing. So I stopped asking audiences for a while.